returned from serving as a U.S. diplomat in Kandahar province of Afghanistan. Kandahar is one of the most beautiful and culturally rich, yet most restive areas of the country. Johnny said to me he had written a play, and I didn't know what to expect. But as soon as I started reading the script, I couldn't put it down until I finished it with tears in my eyes. Most policy experts who come back from Afghanistan usually come with policy reports or recommendations. But it was clear to me that Johnny had come back with something more important, a song in his heart, inspired to tell a very powerful story, one that aims to build empathy and understanding across cultures and countries. He has since collaborated with talented Afghan and American artists to make Terra Root from the Earth a new type of musical theater. It blends Afghan and American folk music to create a unique musical vocabulary through which its Afghan characters tell us their story in a new kind of language. This achievement speaks to the strength and value of the cultural traditions of both Afghanistan and America, as well as the beauty that can occur when these two countries work together for a shared purpose. Johnny began writing these songs while he was living in Kandahar in 2010. He says it was during that time when he truly fell in love with Afghanistan and its people, and became devoted to telling their stories in a way that his fellow Americans could easily identify with. The goal of helping his American neighbors build empathy and understanding for the Afghan people led him to create the piece of art that we will experience here this evening. Johnny's key collaborator is the incredibly talented Kais Essar. Please. He is a master of the rabab who carries on the traditional legacy of classical Afghan instrumentation established by Ustad Muhammad Omar Khan. Kais, whose family comes from the Afghan province of Kunar, brings the beautiful music of the rabab into the 21st century. He is dedicated not only to preserving the music and culture of Afghanistan's past, but helping shape the country's artistic future as well. Everyone at the embassy is very pleased to support this project. It makes a vital contribution to the dialogue and understanding between America and Afghanistan, but also among people of all cultures and faiths. Though set in Afghanistan, it tells a story that is just as true for families living through war all around the world. Tonight we will hear selections from the play, 15 of the 30 total songs. The story is told in 3 acts, each set at a different point in Afghanistan's recent history. We will see 3 generations of a single family dealing with the effects of decades of conflict. First in 1984, during the Soviet invasion, then in 2007, about 5 years after the American intervention, and finally in 2017. Before I let the show go on, I just want to thank Timur Zamani for contributing some of the stage design this evening. He has a shop in Georgetown. Thank you, Timur. And if anyone enjoys the music, which I'm sure all of us will very much, there's a table at the back where the musicians are selling their CDs and where you can make donations that will help go towards the development of the show. So it is my great pleasure to introduce Kais Essar, Gramophonic, Ahmad Maqsood, Melis Akar, Crystal Ahmadiyar, and Narain Weiss. Please enjoy Terra Root from the Earth.
The winds come howling like a parent's wail, tear out the roots and the crop's gonna fail. A mind so young and a flesh so frail, the blight keeps spreading and the crop's gonna fail. If the old don't speak, then the young never hear. A new crop comes every 30-odd years. They reach for the sky as the seedlings grow, higher in the air as the wild winds blow. The winds come howling like a parent's wail, tear out the roots and the crop's gonna fail. The mind so young and the flesh so frail, the blight keeps spreading and the crop's gonna fail. old man sees what stirs in the breeze, his life recedes with the younger man's deeds. He taught those kids with the elders still around. They didn't learn nothing but to strike each other down. A child goes blind in the spirit of the times. Grab it with a thought and you can swing it by the mind. Take it from the fields, sneak into its home. The weapon that you wield is a child half grown. Promise a bigger world beyond a small town. Point it at anything you want to take down. Pay it with a promise of the next year's gold. It won't learn better if it never grows old. The winds come howling like a parent's wail. Tear out the roots and the crop's gonna fail. A mind so young, a flesh so frail. The blight keeps spreading and the crop's gonna fail. In the barren field, lift a sullen eye far across the ridges to the endless sky, to wiser men, and may you give them birth. An army marching over means a million seeds slain. If one stays steady, it can cover the plain. So I beg you, girls, redeem our time on earth. The winds come howling like a parent's wail. Tear out the roots and the crop's gonna fail. A mind so young and the flesh so frail. The blight keeps spreading and the crop's gonna fail. The blight keeps spreading and the crop's gonna fail. The blight keeps spreading and the crop's gonna fail. Blessings of those who toast and the one who pours the wine anoint us all. If they open the earth's chest, they shall find our fallen best. Astabero, Mahe Mastabero.
bride. Our work does not feel that way. Sewing sutures day and night. We've worked for fathers since we were kids. Has it ever been this bad? Fever bruises were all we did. Now how many amputees have we had?
Let's not discuss this again right here. We know the old world's fallen away.
We all rolled over for too many years. We should know there's a price to pay. I know the boy you treated this weekend. He's a friend who fought for what's right. The Soviet will not fall if we're sleeping.
Boys' arm won't grow back if you fight.
Prayer for the marriage,
For the bride.
For the groom, for the family, stay in God's sight.
for the village,
To progress.
To resist.
For the courage to fight for what's right.
Prayer for the homeland.
That we all build a better new world for us.
strength to guard his home. I fear for all of our fate. Our world is a dying star. Half are with God, half with the state. None see how angry we are.
Your brother craves the glory of fighting to show his hero what he's worth. Your sister craves her socialist writings. Only you can bring them to earth.
In the capital, blood is boiling. The king fled and the president slain. In the provinces, tanks are rolling back as centuries gain.
There's an order older than this year's soldiers. Ignore the slogans of the ideologues. The border's bolder, notions holder, but our nation can steer through a war's long fog.
Prayer for the married,
Hold him close, let him know you will always protect your home.
for the village,
Don't just pray, you must act, never lay on your back now.
for the homeland.
It's come far in my time, it can fall as it climbed, and you must keep your eye open wide.
older now and we shoulder more, and you know I'll lead these boys to war. When they're farm boys and mullah's sons, they fall apart at the heavy guns. I'll take them for a time across the eastern borderline, train them up as fighting men, but I will be back when in the springtime the ridge lines form watersheds for grapevines. Mountain passes melt and I'll come floating back to you, and we'll give thanks on riverbanks and lay still in grape fields. Seeds rising far as eyes can see. Riverbanks and lay still in grape fields. Seeds rising far as eyes can see.
Days grow shorter and the seasons change.
The years are longer in my mind.
When you awake at night, look to the moonlight, recall the one you left behind.
I despise to ask you more, but we all choose sides in times of war. And soldiers come from the battlefield, and everyone your dad'll heal. It's sweet, but the danger's real when they're back on their feet with a weapon to wield. It's what you've done since you were young, but stop until the war is done.
You asked the world, I never thought us girls read the men you fought. How can I leave it now with the need this great? I don't know how we get along.
Just think it through, but it's wrong that he can treat them too.
Just come back soon to me and make us all a friend.
In the springtime, the ridge lines for watersheds for grapevines. Mountain passes melt and clear the earth from you and me, and we'll give thanks on riverbanks and lay still in grape fields. Seeds rising far as eyes can see. In the springtime, the ridge lines for watersheds for grapevines. Mountain passes melt and clear the earth from you to me, and we'll give thanks on riverbanks and lay still in grape fields. Seeds rising far as eyes can see. Seeds rising far as eyes can see.
Oh, I must see you, and do forgive me for your time. The boys are leaving to train across the borderline. Woe to all that is far away. No one knows if you'll survive. Don't wanna bury a husband in my time. Perhaps unfairly, I want him only for mine.
I scarce believed these things could happen in our time. but young men leave with heated blood and heated minds. Woe to man as he founders. Show him home when he is blind.
But he is able, and he would fight to save our home.
Beware the labels. A fighting man will make his own.
Now he demands I leave our medicine behind. I understand. Even a healer takes a side.
Woe to all at this hour. Oh, with poison in their minds. You must refuse to choose a side in what we do. You cannot lose the lessons I have taught to you.
I will agree
You cannot
to
see
carry on our work for now.
this world brings good men down.
But you must see
This must not be.
the scale, and you know how.
My darling, here I beg you.
Woe
to a man as he found us. Oh, his conscience leaves him blind. My darling girl, he is the finest still of men. But for the world, he must not ask this of you again. Oh, do not ask this of her again. Oh, do not ask this of her again.
When your bright lights grow faint and you're nobody's saint, senses don't feel for the senseless restraint. You can take to the seal and your wounds will all heal, and you'll find in those fields what you are and what else you ain't. Young headstrong survivors in a country on fire, riding on tigers in eternity's glow. And the martyrs fall hardest, with eyes full of stardust. We can ride this the farthest that you and I ever did go. Leave a tear in my eye, leave a laugh in my throat, in pictures and verses inside of my coat. Wrap me up in a sheet to an old love beat, fly banners up above where I lay. And the good Lord will carry us until we're all buried. Some of us may get married, have children someday. Some will get ourselves killed then, but the new world we build then, those children will pray by your grave when we lay you away. Leave a tear in my eye, leave a laugh in my throat, in pictures and verses inside of my coat. Wrap me up in a sheet to an old love beat, fly banners up above where I lay. Boys, fly banners up above where I lay. Let every good disciple grab prayer beads and a rifle. No soldier sitting idle in this town. And we'll leave now for a while. We'll come rolling back in style. And we be there fiery trial coming down, coming down.
One kiss to ease your loneliness when I can be around. With this face of hope, when God is smiling down.
Don't talk like I am leaving now. You make me wanna cry. You're putting tears into this fighter's eyes. I won't sit this war out between good men aiming high. Back to build another world. We'll forge it from the fire. Be brave and treat each other well. We'll see you in the spring.
I promise you I won't forget
Hear
a
everyone
thing.
sing. Leave a teardrop in my eye, leave laughter in my throat. Paint pictures of your lovely hugs on the inside of my coat. Wrap me up inside a sheet to the music of an old lullaby. My banners up above where I lay. Leave a teardrop in my eye, leave laughter in my throat. Paint pictures of your lovely on the inside of my coat. Wrap me up inside a sheet to a melody sweet and a lullaby. My banners up above where I lay. Boys fly banners up above where I lay.
Our sky is falling. The choppers fly, night fighters crawling. Red the soil with human stain. Red rockets fall like rain. Ready now for heaven's calling. Now from on high to bring to earth the deadly flyers. Just as the old ones held this ground and brought the British legions down, we'll dig a grave for new empires. Huh. And I say, turn that wheel around. We turn the gears of this whole world when our feet grip our own ground.
But the wheel kept turning. When the British left, the war kept burning. But we grew up in a time of peace, enough to give to each farmer, toiler, what he's earning. Those days are over. Now you would climb up on old shoulders, shoulder fire rockets off at the sky they held aloft. Watch it fall upon young soldiers. And I say, turn that wheel around. We turn the gears of this whole world. Grip our own ground. I'm leaving home now.
I thought together we'd grow old now.
You pulled this home into a war. I can't stay no more. I'll find a family of my own now.
Please don't desert us.
It's not my leaving that will hurt us. You cannot see with clouded eye. Set fire to the sky. You'll die for the lies that stirred us. And we all say, turn that wheel around. A refugee may never see in this life, this holy ground.
In the barren field, lift a sullen eye, far across the ridges to the endless sky, to wiser men, and may you give them birth. An army marching over means 1,000,000 seeds slain. If one stays steady, it can cover the plain. So I beg you, girls, redeem our time on earth. The winds come howling like a parent's wail. Tear out the roots and the crops don't fail. The mind's so young and the flesh so frail. The blight keeps spreading and the crop's gonna fail. The blight keeps spreading and the crop's gonna fail. The blight keeps spreading and the crop's gonna fail. Well, they paved that ancient road that runs from Kandahar to reach our parents long ago. And they powered up the city lights, but farms out here stayed dark at night. The river dried and vines grew through the road. We were poor but doing fine. The war came in 1979. It didn't leave nothing but a gun in each home, and in every last farm field a pressure point mine. They swore they came to build, but every other one of our brothers got killed, and the soil we tilled was only filled with shells we fired, and the blood spilled. But we'll be fine. Don't pay us any mind. Let the world go on and leave us all behind. Push us down in the cold and barren ground. Let the pressure swell the soil beneath this town. The first 10 years foreign men stayed here for fighting. The second 10 we did it on our own. And then we must have all done something to make towers come a-crumbling and foreign men come stumbling back, you know. And the river come back a-flowing, and those city lights come blinking. But there was blood in the river upstream, and sometimes it almost seems the crops grow crooked and the water ain't fit for drinking. And they promised all, but they delivered none. The war came back in 2001. They hired half our boys for policemen and set the other half on the run. And I'm the sprout of native soil. I grow when the river of our blood come to boil. I want to rise from hell, make the soil swell, rebel, and if I die, die well. Well, we'll be fine. Don't pay us any mind. Let the world go on and leave us all behind. Push us down in the cold and barren ground. Let the pressure swell the soil beneath this town. There's still a long way left on the ancient road. Predators come out after dark. And sometimes along the trail, if the light at night should fail, the only way to find your way out here is a muzzle spark.
About you, my son. 10 days or more you go.
You know they grabbed me again, Ma, with 10 other men.
and we ain't done nothing wrong.
I see passions rage around you. And inside that sweet old mind, young men rise in a tempest, get swept away. I see it in my time, but I will stand by today. So lay your worries away, stay with me, babe. What do you say? And I recall a better time when the sky came down and those days were through. I carried you home and took care of you, and I stand by.
Well, don't think that I have slipped away from you like a fighter in those fields. Even though the war is still raging, this time I'll stay here with you for real.
You are the work of a lifetime, my son. All I prayed a son would be. When the war comes calling to sweep you away, just keep your eyes on me.
And I will stand by today, so lay your worries away. Stay with me, baby, what do you say? And I can't let the war go by. I'll work in the field till my day is through, come in at night and take care of you, and I'll stand by. Well, they gave me back my phone when they sent me on home. Said to call if I see something wrong.
Boy, they handed it back because they were planning to track where you go even after you're gone. They got a tag in the phone that's got it dragging a drone.
But they know that I'm out now for good. And I never even fought.
Yeah, even if they thought that, they'd track every kid if they could. So don't you use it no more, because I've been through this before, and it don't end how anyone plans.
It's just a phone, it ain't more.
No, it's the heart of the war, and we're staying out as long as we can.
Relieve your soul now. Keep your eyes on me. This home is all we need. Relieve your soul now. Keep your eyes on me. This home is all we need. Relieve your soul now. Keep your eyes on me. This home is all we need. And I will stand by today, so lay your worries away. Stay with me, baby, what do you say? And I can't let the war go by. I'll work in the field till my day is through, coming at night and take care of you. And I'll stand by. And I will stand by today, so lay your worries away. Stay with me, baby, what do you say? And I recall a better time
as you try to set it right and get deeper than you possibly know.
It's hard to sit on the side with the wild wind starting to blow. I see your crop come hard and the grape that you gathered ain't sold. And when the world's in gray and when fortune favors the bold, you plant a handful of poppy and you turn that shit into gold.
A dozen odd friends that we dragged from the field in a bag. Then we go trolling the graveyards, piercing the soil with a flag. Well, I say one man's better is another's technicolor toe tag.
Alright, you know what? We got the seed that you plant, yeah, the cash and the buyer will come. Join the fight this time, there's more where all that comes from.
There ain't much luck in the grape when there's blood where the river should run.
You know it grows without water and it keeps in the heat on the shale. It pulls you 10 times the price when you sell it to the infidel.
I'm doing this for my ma, I ain't doing none of it for myself.
Dig a 3-inch hole, find the roots of a scorched earth crop. You dig a 6-foot grave, find an unmarked man in the plot. You pass a Cold War mine, and just before you hit bedrock, you find the ancient ashes of a city from before time starts.
So I'ma grab this rifle, gonna grab us a piece of the pie.
There's a better world out there. Young men ain't got to die. Now,
And if we see that city, it'll be from the other side. We were born in a bold and scientific age. Our parents irrigated plains, built cities sprawling far as they could gaze. We turned the page, came of age, teenage rage and grown-up war. They push and pull us all, give us cash and guns and phones to fan the war. My father fell, brother as well. My husband dropped the rifle for the plow. My sister fled to Moscow. If I'd gunned, my son might be some doctor now. child, like us, you turn to this old gum. But I fired this thing before, and I know the wicked ricochet that comes. You've got a scheme, picked a team, but none of them are as they seem. Americans or Soviets or mullahs, cons or local boys with dreams. Young boys and girls, young boys and girls, young stewards of the epic now unfurled. And should the war rule us astray, my darling, may you stay to hold aloft the sinking pillars of the world. Before my time is drained away, I can turn this wheel around and then drift into the closing of my day, and then drift into the closing of my day. Drift into the closing of my day. Young boys and girls, young stewards of the epic now unfurled.
Down in the ground, you fertilize it round and round, and don't you make an earthly sound. The devil, he will come around. Your old man bopping like my own. They died without a hand to bake. The seed will bury in the bone. Take a hand and take a leg. You're never going back. Boyish things in the life you used to know. Don't focus on your back. They cracked the old one before you burnt. They'll hunt you down to the end of the earth. So slip your wind and look on down the road. Find it all been empty. You will have the bounty you all owed.
blood and limb from limb. You son of a bitch, we grew up with him. Are you crazy? He ain't who we wanted. No.
Yeah, I shut up and lock and load. We got a foot patrol rolling up the road. And God is great now, and trust is fake now. And whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, whoa, 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 whoa.
Sweet young girl, tell me where did you go when the wild winds came to blow? I was just a girl and I had no plan when I stormed across the wasteland. And I wandered toward the highway with my father's tears behind me. Found a flatbed headed north where a comrade said he'd hide me. Without a breadcrumb in my pocket, just a scared and angry girl. Through the checkpoints wrapped in burlap on the darkest highway in the world. And I reached Corba where the city lights still glow, and the wild winds came to blow. Sweet young girl, tell me what you found when the wild wind set you down. I was a poor young orphan, but it was safer here in the old regime's last years. If you can shout those slogans nicely, they can stash you in a classroom. You take a candle burning brightly to study nightly in the back room. When they let me into medicine, well, the new world called at last. I was the daughter of a doctor, I could damn near teach the class. And so the ministry winnowed me from the crowd when the wild wind set me down. Oh, sweet girl of the wild wind, in flight from the backward back where we started again. Father's girl of the modern world, your bright light in progress in this darkness unfurled. Small town, small minds, we all try to catch the wind, but our feet stay tangled in these ancient vines. Sweet young girl, tell me what you found on the wild winds across the sea. I was a smart young woman, so far from home, but they trained me like their own. There were a few good years in Moscow. There were cafes in the nighttime. Not every student thought so. They set the old block in their sightline. I saw the walls fall down around me. I saw cobble fall in order, but I made myself a surgeon as my homeland fell to warlords. And the surgeons said, anywhere they please, on the wild winds overseas. Sweet young girl, tell me where did it end when you rode the wild wind? No more a girl when I settled down in the small Virginia town. I had a practice someone else's village, never married in the new world, or remade my father's kingdom. But there were many who would send a Kandahari where she came from. So I rode a Black Hawk back to here again on the wings of the wild wind. Oh, sweet girl of the wild wind, in flight from the backward back where it started again. Safe girl in a spring breeze, where the darkness never creeps and keeps your memory at ease. Of a small town, always admired, always a daddy's girl, yet so far from what he had in mind.
It's such a blessing you all are here tonight, this evening. Thank you for coming.
From the earth now, what do you see? Upturned soil, souls released, blood that boils west to east. You see yourself before the Lord's grace, your time and your place. See cause for every choice you make, but always a cycle you can break. Yesterday I thought I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise and I'm changing myself. And there are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss this ground. Our task is not to find love, but to find all the barriers we've built against it. Out beyond ideas of wrong and right, of belief and unbelief, there's a field, and I will meet you there.
Thank you.